Hello, in this edition of What's Cooking, we're going to make a delicious vegetable lasagna. And we're going to do it in kind of an untraditional way using Caraco's Ultra Tech Oil Core Electric Skillet. So we'll get right to it. And what we're going to do first is we're going to start out by making our sauce. And because we have a little bit more time, we're going to put a little bit more effort into this. But generally, if you're short on time, there's things you can do that you can shorten the cooking process significantly. But for this, we're just going to chop up some fresh garlic. I'm going to go ahead, and because we're going to clarify some onions and some red peppers for our sauce, we're going to use just a little bit of olive oil just to get that process going. And we'll start the stove out on medium heat. We don't want to go above medium because, as we said, these pans are constructed with some really high quality metals. They will heat up tremendously if you use above medium heat. I'll just go ahead and stick that in the pan. All right, as our olive oil starts to heat up, I'm just going to quickly chop up a little bit of red onion. Just put this red pepper in here. Give it a brief stir. You just want these vegetables to clarify just a little bit. I'm just going to quickly cut up a zucchini. I always cut everything right down the middle, make it nice and flat. We'll cut our squash as well. Just trim off the ends, cut it right down the middle. One thing about the zucchini and squash that I like to do is I like to take out some of the seeds just because they hold a lot of water. I don't like soggy vegetables. I like my vegetables al dente, and I just take out some of the seeds. Okay, we're just going to quickly, we'll just this up. See, my vegetables are clarifying nicely. At this point, I'm just going to go ahead and take the sauce and pour it right in. All right, we've just finished cutting up our zucchini and our yellow squash, and we're just going to add them to our sauce real quick. And I turned it off after we clarified the vegetables, and now I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. I'm going to turn it on like medium to medium-low and let that sauce start to cook up a little bit. If you don't have time to do this part, you don't really have to. I just like to do it this way because it tastes a little bit better. I also like, when I'm using sauce out of a jar or can, I like to cut it up and use a little bit of carrots. That helps lower the pH of the sauce. I happen to have some extra broccoli just laying around. Since we're making a vegetable lasagna, why not? I'll just give it a little chop here. And then we're gonna let this cook about 10 minutes, let it start to simmer a little bit, let all those delicious flavors come together. Put the top on with the valve open. I have it on about medium heat, and we're just gonna let that cook for a few minutes. And it's time now to make the cheese filling for the inside of our lasagna. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna take about 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese, and then about 24 ounces of cottage cheese. We're not gonna use ricotta. This is much healthier, and you will not taste the difference. It'll taste just as good. Then we're just gonna take an egg and crack that and put it right in here. And then we'll use another egg, crack it right in here. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of ground black pepper, grind it up in there. And this will go, this cheese mixture will go on top of your sauce mixture, and then you'll place your lasagna noodles right on top of that. And I'm just gonna give this just a good mixture. Mix those eggs in there. The eggs will really help to bind the cottage cheese and the mozzarella cheese together. Okay, our sauce has been cooking for about 10 or 12 minutes. We're ready to actually build our lasagna. So all we're gonna do is take the top off, get it out of the way for now. And I'm gonna leave it off until I have it totally built. And what I like to do is just put just a little bit of sauce in the bottom. Just get some of the oil that's in there, just so that the noodles don't stick to the bottom. And this sauce may brown just a little bit. That's perfectly okay, perfectly normal. A little sauce in the bottom. We'll leave this here for now. And one beautiful part of this skillet lasagna, and the best aspect and the most time-saving aspect of it all, is you don't have to cook the noodles. The Ultra Tech electric skillet will cook the noodles because it contains the moisture just like the Ultra Tech cookware. So basically all we're gonna do is we're gonna start out and we're just gonna put our noodles in the bottom of the pan, and if you have to break them to kind of get them to fit, I do that too. And we're just going to scoop our sauce right in there. Our vegetables, they're a little cooked, but they're gonna cook with everything else in our oil core electric skillet. And what we're gonna do is, you know what I want, is I want to take that carrot out of there. Carrot is just for lowering the pH in the sauce. We don't actually need it in the recipe. Okay, and that's our first layer. And then we're gonna take our cheese, and we're just gonna take the cheese and spread it right in here, making sure just to spread it out nice and neatly. And now all we're gonna do is we're gonna take some more lasagna noodles, And we're going to place them in the pan, and we're going to crisscross. The other ones we laid this way, well, these we're going to lay this way in a crisscross pattern. And we're going to do the same thing we did before with these uncooked lasagna noodles. It's really a beautiful thing. Let me just break this to try to get it to fit a little bit better. And now I'm just going to take some more of our sauce. I'm just going to scoop it on here. Go ahead and put it in here. Just move it around. And I'm just going to take some more lasagna noodles, uncooked, and I'm going to put them once again the opposite way, and just to crisscross like this. Just put that in there. So I'm just going to take this last layer, and I'm just going to put right over the top. That's sauce only, and I'm just going to just spread this over it. I'm just going to put the top on. We're going to put it on about 250 degrees and let that start to simmer. Okay, our delicious vegetable lasagna has been cooking for about 25 minutes. Just going to remove the lid, put this back in for the time being, and you know what, I'll just turn it down just a bit, and now you can see it's cooked. I'm just going to take our mozzarella cheese and just cover the top, and we'll do, and I like a nice layer of cheese. That's actually pretty good. And what I'll do is I just like to fill in just a little bit of this kind of cheese, which is mozzarella, just to fill in the spaces. And so, just gonna put a little bit of parsley on top. We'll put our lid on and let this cook for just about 5 minutes, let the cheese melt. Okay, our vegetable lasagna has been cooking for about half hour. It's done. We're just gonna remove the lid, and you can see it looks beautiful. We're going to go ahead and turn it off, and we're just going to let this sit here for about 15 minutes or so, just so that it becomes a little bit more firm. It's easier for you to cut and put on a plate. Okay, we're just cutting our vegetable lasagna. Seems like it's firmed up rather nicely. And here we have delicious, beautiful veggie lasagna, the little side salad, cooked in about a half an hour in the Ultratech oil core electric skillet, and it is delicious. Bon appetit.